Hello friends, how you doing? Sunnyvale Reject back with another video. What kind of video? Today we're going to take a look at my medical thriller book collection. What do I know about medical thrillers? Absolutely nothing. But the covers piqued my interest, and that's all that matters. Actually, I've wanted to take a look at medical thrillers for quite a while. I have haunted house books. I have possession books. I have YA slasher books. I have serial killer books, but medical thrillers is something I've never really checked out. Everybody's heard of Contagion and Toxin and was it Chromosome 6 and Outbreak, and we watched the movies, but what kind of books do they make? Are they intellectual reads? Are they page turners? Is it just for entertainment, or is there an information value to them as well? Who knows? We're going to check them out. And of course, when you think about medical thrillers, a few big names come to mind. Patricia Cornwell, Robin Cook, Michael Palmer, Gary Birkin. And these books, you'd have to assume, probably take place all around a hospital environment with a doctor or a surgeon as the protagonist. And maybe a routine surgery goes sour and a patient dies and another family member wants revenge, or they try to sue and find out that there's a lot of big tech and pharmaceutical companies behind hospitals. They definitely have a dark side, which these books probably expose. So listen, I'm going to shut my mouth because I know you don't want to hear me talk. I'm just going to show you the books, and if I know a little something, I'll share it with you. So let's just get right into it, okay? And how about first we check out Patricia Cornwell. This is Point of Origin. People love this book. It's about 4.0 with about 60,000, reviews at Goodreads. And that's saying something because those folks at Goodreads, which I appreciate, what you guys do, the reviewers over there, they take it very seriously. They try to be honest, it seems like. And even the reviews about my own book, I appreciate because, hey, fair enough, right? But look at this handsome lady. Now, Patricia Cornwell, she's written and sold about 400 million copies. Can you imagine that? And the K. Scarpetta series, which is a medical examiner from Richmond, there's about 27 books in that series alone. And I hear it's wildly popular. And she credits her father's abuse and maybe absence as a reason for wanting to write, because he apparently left the family Christmas of 1961. Predator. Yes, like a fish to a pretty shiny lure in a clear stream, I was drawn to this book because the spine stood out. The Predator. And that's a handsome woman. Come on, give it up. She must live in a palace. That's a big-ass room with a high ceiling, and that fireplace wouldn't heat that room alone. They say the folks that used to live in castles back in the day, royalty, they froze to death. They were smart enough to engineer those big-ass, masterful castles, but couldn't figure out how to heat them. Strange. Kind of makes you believe they didn't really build them. So that's Predator. What's this about? Scarpetta, now freelancing with the National Forensic Academy in Florida, digs into a case more bizarre than any she's ever faced, one that has produced not only unusual physical evidence, but also tantalizing clues about the inner workings of an extremely cunning and criminal mind. Predator. Beautiful cover, really. I mean, the color stands out. Here's Unnatural Exposure. Again, the colors work. It's shiny, and we love reflective things, don't we? That's a saw blade with some blood, a little foreshadowing. And again, there she is. The hell is she reading, y'all? Oh boy, is that a law book? Okay, they could have been more creative there. Patricia Cornwell. Yeah, let's move on. Michael Palmer. Michael Palmer was active from about 1988 through 2013 when they say he unexpectedly died. Now, he was an older man, but perhaps he was in good health otherwise, right? But he wrote about 27 books. I have a paperback copy of Flashback. That is kind of creepy. Look at the eyes. I bet the hardback is really nice. I care about font, y'all. I want an easy read. I don't want a strain to read, And this font is fairly small. I'll maybe get a hardback version of this and read it and give this to one of my students, Your Silent Treatment. Silent Treatment. Is he a ninja? No, those are OR scrubs. Oh, are they? There's the man himself. He looks trustworthy. I'd believe him. I'd probably get a second opinion, but I'd take it to heart. What is this about? Oh, with his wife Evie scheduled for surgery the next day, Dr. Harry Corbett goes to the hospital for what he hopes will be a quiet evening of reconciliation. In recent weeks, Evie, never quick to share her feelings, has been more closed and distant than ever. You got to give me more than that. You got to give me some juice, baby. That is boring. That doesn't sound good. Give me more. The first patient. I got this from that Salvation Army I'm always talking about for $1.99. Nice book, solid. Got a few scuffs on the cover, but no big deal, right? We read them, and if we can't find somebody else to give them away to, then we redonate them. Gabe Singleton and Andrew Stoddard were roommates at the Naval Academy in Annapolis years ago. Today, Gabe is a country doctor, and his friend Andrew has gone from war hero to governor to president of the United States. One day, while the United States is embroiled in a bitter presidential election campaign, blah, blah, blah. You got to give me more than that, and you got to give it to me quickly. There's too many books around. There's too much competition. You got to get to the heart of the matter quicker. Tell me what the book is about. Blurbs matter, y'all. And covers do too. Let's admit it. And here's another one with the White House or something. That may be in the Capitol or something. I don't know. This is the Capitol. I guess that was the White House. But, or hell, correct me if I'm wrong. I just got back from D.C. too. Got pictures standing out in front of probably both of these buildings. But if you didn't know any better, you would think that this was a political book, you know? And I don't go for that kind of stuff, so I don't know. Maybe it is. But yeah, I don't know. What is this about? Let's find out. On the night of the State of the Union address, yes, it is, President James Allaire expects to give the speech of his career, but no one foresees the horrific turn of events that leads him to quarantine everyone in the Capitol building. A terrorist group calling itself Genesis has unleashed a highly contagious virus. There you go. I don't want to spoil anything for you. Okay, maybe this book grows on you, but I'm not into politics because every damn one of those scumbags is a liar. They're all trying to keep us separated, keep us from looking up at the stars and asking big questions, and they want to keep us hating each other and arguing and bickering back and forth while they do all kinds of shady shit behind the scenes. Time out. We got one more by Palmer, and we're going to move on to the master. I hope you're ready. Come on, y'all. Give it up for Fatal. Now, this is a badass design. Bold red letters. Big. Body under a sheet that could mean a lot of things. Doesn't mean you're at a hospital, you know, and the body's on the gurney getting pushed to the morgue. It could mean a lot of things. This is Michael Palmer's Fatal, and this is the first book I bought by him, and you can see why. It was good enough to pick up and check out, and that's what it takes. You got to give people a reason to want to even look at your product, right? And then the content, when they flip through the pages, you got to have something special on every page. Raymond Chandler was a master at that. He wrote crime novels, and he wrote on index cards, and there had to be something powerful on every single one of them because there's so much competition, and it's so hard to get people's attention that once you've got it, you have to keep it. Yes. Okay, so what's Fatal about? From The Sisterhood, Michael Palmer's first New York Times bestseller, to The Patient, his 9th reviewers have proclaimed him a master of medical suspense. Okay. Recognized around the world for original, topical, nail-biting suspense, emergency physician Palmer's work has been translated into more than 35 languages. Okay, that's not telling me much. In Chicago, a pregnant cafeteria worker suffering nothing more malevolent than flu-like symptoms begins hemorrhaging from every part of her body. He's taken too long in these blurbs to get to the point, or these book descriptions. Let that be a lesson to you. And I obviously, something got my attention, right, because I bought these books, but that doesn't make me want to read them, you know. So if you are a writer and you have a book description to write for Amazon or whatever, take it very seriously, and in a few lines, tell the people what they can expect and why they should pick up your book as opposed to, you know, the master that's probably right beside your book on the shelf, you know. Okay, I'm shutting up. We're about to delve into the master, and his name is Robin Cook, and this was his first book. And check this out, y'all. This book bombed, but he didn't give up. He calls himself a doctor who writes, and he's up on the technology. I mean, he's an intellectual, informed writer who always imparts some profound knowledge to his readers. I have no doubt. But when this book bombed, he could have given up, but he didn't. Being the student and scholar that he is, he studied bestsellers. And he started to be able to pick out the literary devices or the tricks of the trade that they were employing in order to plant the seed of whatever they were trying to impart in the subconscious of their readers. So he studied them, he learned from them, and he used every single one of those tricks or literary devices in Coma. And Coma was a bestseller. And since then, he's written 25, 30, 40, hell, I don't even know. He's written a lot of books. My dog started coughing back there and it distracted me. But anyway, he never looked back. And this man has sold 400 million plus copies. He lives the good life and he's doing what he enjoys, and all because he didn't give up. And that's the one thing I try to tell my students. When it comes to writing, you have to just get it out and then work with it over time, shape it, mold it, put it in a drawer. And then 2 or 3 weeks later, go back to it. Things have changed. You've lived more life. You have more to add to it. And you're looking at it from a different perspective. Sometimes looking at it as a reader that's going to pick it up in a store is very beneficial. You've seen this one in another video, a book haul. But this is Terminal by Robin Cook. And as I said the first time, this is a stunner. I love this cover. And it's got shading and color schemes like a lot of Goosebumps, Jacobus, and that's because we are psychologically drawn to certain colors. Check out the floor and the designs in casinos. They're meant to keep you there and forget about time. Think about that. Here's a beach book. This is Cure by Robin Cook. He's got big-ass, bold lettering like it's on the back of a football jersey or something. And I like that. Sure. This is the first Robin Cook book I bought, Acceptable Risk. And again, you see the color schemes. I don't even have to say anything. But this stands out. If you're at a bookstore and it's forward-facing at least, you're going to walk over there. It's going to get your attention. So let's see what Acceptable Risk is about, because this one gets very high reviews. People love this book. Prozac-like drugs are being prescribed not only for their original purposes, but increasingly to alter individual personalities to currently valued norms. Now let me ask you a serious question. Do you think something like that might be going on right now? I think so. I'm telling you. They don't want us to unite because we're unstoppable. And they don't want us to ask big questions. And they definitely don't want us to question any of the narratives that are out there right now. They don't want you to look up at the stars. Just stay on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter and just play your little games and don't think about big things. Just pay your taxes and support the war machine. But don't do it. Don't fall for it. Here we go. God Player. Very simplistic, but also intriguing, because what the hell is he hooked up to? What is going on here? We don't know. We're going to have to read the book and find out. But there he is in his palace. What is this about? Let's see. It starts as the marriage of true minds, two gifted young physicians burning with the will to heal, soulmates as well as lovers. From the first moment in the medical center when pathology resident Cassandra Cassidy meets brilliant cardiac surgeon Thomas Kingsley, she knows they are meant to be together forever. No, they probably don't stay together very long because something tragic happens. But what that something is, you'll have to read and find out. But there's a nice copy of Robin Cook's God Player. Mutation. This is a nice copy. I've seen this on Amazon for $8, $9 with Prime shipping and everything, but I paid $2 for it and it's beautiful, right? He sought to create the son of his dreams and invented a nightmare. Robin Cook's new techno-medical thriller probes every father's greatest fear. Hints at maybe Frankenstein, something like that. All right, what else we got? Brain. Look at this. Looks like a manual of some sort. Yeah, I don't know. It looks like a manual for how to work an MRI machine or something. But it's still a beautiful copy, and there he is. You can tell. He probably spends a lot of time out near the water, like I do, in South Florida, fishing a little bit, playing soccer or football out in the field behind the house with the kid, riding our bikes, on the beach, you name it. Normally the weather is very nice in Florida, but today it's rainy and dark outside, and I figured what better time to do a video, about books, because everybody wants to curl up with a nice book when it's kind of gloomy and dark outside. When it's beautiful and sunny in Florida, you feel guilty staying inside sometimes because most people pray for that kind of weather. Critical. I knew it. I knew that dude lived in a palace. Look at this. Come on. He knows it. He earned it. I get it. Hey, listen, and if his books sucked and it didn't work out for him, he could always fall back on that medical thing. Critical. Angela Dawson, MD, appears to have it all. At age 37, she owns a fabulous New York City apartment and a stunning seaside house on Nantucket and enjoys the perks of her prosperous life. But her climb to the top has been rough, marked by a troubled childhood, a failed marriage. I don't need to know anymore. Don't want to know anymore. I still might read it. Who knows? But when? That's the question. Definitely going to read this. This is Sphinx. And this was, I could be wrong. I don't want to act like I'm the sage on the stage and lie, but it's either his second or third book. But this is not so much of a medical thriller as it is a straight up thriller. And it's about an archaeologist who finally gets her big chance to go on a dig in Egypt, and in one way or another has to contend with those who would sell artifacts on the black market. Those are bad guys, right? Yes, he wears sunglasses a lot. The Sphinx. Okay. The treasures of Tutankhamun have enthralled the world for half a century. In Robin Cook's Sphinx, even the fabulous hoard pales to insignificance when a young Harvard Egyptologist stumbles across a dazzling new find, the unplundered tomb of a pharaoh who ruled after Tut. They would have us believe that pyramids are tombs. No, it's a fallacy. They were not. There's nothing more conspicuous than a giant pyramid if you're trying to hide a body, right? No, there's never been a body found in a pyramid as far as I know. But what were the pyramids? That's the question. And why is the oldest structure on Earth the very best ever made? That means the culture that made it was already fully formed and had language and writing and mathematics, right? Toxin. My last and final book in my medical thriller collection, and the last book in my Robin Cook collection, Toxin. And again, you already know. This is a beautiful book. Very simple, but beautiful. I don't know. Get a second opinion. Your body can heal itself. Just got to give it the right fuel. Robin Cook, Toxin. A gripping novel of bacterial poisoning and corporate malevolence from the dean of medical thrillers. Okay, he's just the dean. Apparently there's somebody out there that does a better job. It's sold more books. Dr. Kim Ridges, one of the country's top cardiac surgeons, finds himself ill-equipped to deal with a medical catastrophe involving his own daughter. That's not good. Becky, newly divorced. Kim takes Becky to her favorite fast food restaurant on a special night out. The quintessential American meal of burgers and fries leads to tragedy. Over the following week, Becky becomes gravely ill from E. coli bacteria poisoning. Where does it go from there? Look, books are cheap. Give it a shot. Check it out and find out. And again, books are the only thing. Well, there's lots of other things, okay? You don't want to do surgery. You don't want to be quarterback for an NFL team during the Super Bowl and be multitasking. But I'm a teacher, and so I'm talking to students about how to be better, more adept readers, So I'm saying, shut the world out. Immerse yourself in the world of the book and disappear for a little bit. Because if you don't, you'll read 10 or 15 pages and realize you don't know what the hell you just read and you have to start over. So why read anything if you're not going to mine some important message, etc. from it, right? And listen, I want to thank you guys for watching my videos, for liking and subscribing, because you matter. I appreciate you guys more than you know. And these videos are not perfect. I mess up all the time, and I messed up several times in this video. But I also do that in class, and I encourage my students to take chances and take risks, and don't be embarrassed to fail. Fail a lot, because each failure gets you closer to a major success. Okay, that's it. I'm shutting up. Thanks for watching my medical thriller book collection. Thanks for following me on this journey and liking, subscribing. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see each other soon.